be talking about life signs in the ecosystem. So, we have abiotic non-living, and some examples are water, solar energy, wind, sunlight, temperature, soil, and the atmosphere. These are non-living organisms that we have in the ecosystem. And we have our biotic living, and some examples would be plants, animals such as producers, consumers, herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and decomposers. And as you can see right here, we have a map showing the tiger's role in the ecosystem, as you can tell right there.
Hi, I'm Emerald Robinson, and in this What Is video, we're going to investigate Earth's ecosystems. An ecosystem is a community of living things interacting with the non-living parts of their environment. There are two primary parts of an ecosystem. The biotic part is made of all the living things like plants and animals, fungi, and bacteria and viruses. The abiotic part is made up of non-living things like rocks and minerals, water, and energy. Ecosystems can be almost any size. While most of us think of communities like a coral reef or a forest, an ecosystem can be a small pond or even the area beneath a large rock. Ecosystems need energy. In most cases, this energy comes from sunlight. Producers, like plants, take light energy and convert it into usable sugar energy through photosynthesis. As animals consume the energy from plants, they are eaten by other animals and ultimately decompose back into the soil. The energy moves through the ecosystem via a food web. Two of the most important concepts in the study of ecosystems are niche and habitat. A habitat is a place where an organism lives. Organisms must get nutrition, shelter, water, and the other things they need to survive from their habitat. Niche is an organism's special role in the ecosystem. What and how something eats, how it behaves, where it lives, all of these things define an organism's niche. Two organisms cannot occupy the same niche for very long. Eventually, one will outcompete the other for food and other resources, forcing the other to move or to go extinct. Many of the Earth's ecosystems are threatened due to climate change, pollution, and the human destruction of habitats. Scientists call it ecology.
So after we just watched our video and we looked at our PowerPoint, I kind of want to go and reiterate some of the things that we went over already. So we kind of talked about biotic and abiotic, which are valuable to our ecosystem because they tell us what are the living and non-living things. So abiotic would be the non-living things and biotic would be the living things. So what I want to do now, I'm going to just go around the classroom and I'm going to say something and I want you to just fill in the blank. So tigers would be biotic or abiotic. Rocks would be abiotic or biotic. Fungi would be biotic or abiotic. Fire would be biotic or abiotic. So if you answered those, then you would know that the animals and the fungi would be biotic, and the rocks and the fire and the atmosphere would be abiotic. Those are the non-living things versus living. Biotic is living, abiotic is non-living. So I just want you to kind of reiterate that in your mind and to just put in your mind so that when we do our activity later, that you're aware of what you're seeing around you. So I actually want to, after this, we're gonna go outside, or you can go outside yourself, wherever you're at. And what I want you to do is to look around in your surroundings. Just take in of like all the animals that you see, all the plants that you see, the abiotic, the biotic organisms, out in the atmosphere, out in the world. So you kind of get an idea even more what the ecosystem is all about and why is it important to us and such. So that's our task for next, is to, I really want this to be student-centered. I really want to just give out the instructions and then allow the students to really just be hands-on in this activity. So we're going to give the students about 15 minutes to go outside, and you can take your science journal. You can write down all the things that you see outside. If you see butterflies, plants, if you see some like weeds, think about the sun, the atmosphere, all those different things. What kind of, do you see squirrels? Because it's going to be really important for our lesson or our next activity after we come back in. So I'm going to set you off to do that. Yes. So after you guys have come back inside and you've written down or drew all the things that you saw or experienced, my next task for you is that I want you to write a 250-word essay about, you have 2 topics to choose from. It could either be, why do you think our ecosystem is important, after you've seen all what the animals do, what they eat, how they survive, the plants, what they feed off of. Or you can actually imagine being an animal in the ecosystem and to kind of describe, like, what would you eat to keep yourself alive? What would your predator be? Like, what do you gotta watch out for? And stuff like that. So I'm gonna let you go and finish that, and afterwards we're gonna come together, and if you feel like you wanna share, that's cool. We can share, we can talk about it. However, they're all gonna come into me, so I can read them all. I'm really excited to read them. So you have about 10 to 15 minutes to finish up your writing. Awesome. So now that we're finished, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. You can share what you wrote. But like I said previously, you will be turning this into me so I can monitor and track what you're doing and where you are at the moment to see if you're really grasping the concept of what an ecosystem is. Um, and my goal is to continue this with you guys in my next lesson. So thank you.